Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Winnipeg Business Podcast, where I bring in Winnipeg's finest businesses to share who they are, what they do, what makes them unique, and what you should look for when dealing with somebody within their industry. So without further ado, let's go. Hey everyone, so with me today is Samantha Thomas. She is the owner of Lemon Sugar Bar, and today we're going to do something different. We're actually going to have Charmaine, a team member at the Winnipeg Business Podcast, get her arms sugared while we are interviewing Samantha. So we'll let Samantha introduce herself. Without further ado.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Samantha. I'm the owner of Lemon Sugar Bar. I have been sugaring in Winnipeg for the last 13 years, and recently during the pandemic, I was able to open a small studio just for myself, which has been amazing. So we've been going for about 2 months here now. Another local salon, and was able to sort of, I worked in the industry as an employee for a while, and then I was able to sort of go the self-employed route.
So is there like history of owning businesses in your family, or are you the first one?
Yes, actually there's a long list of business owners in my family. Most of all of the men in my family have had some sort of a business. My dad, my grandpa, my uncles, cousins. So yeah, it is pretty prevalent in my family. Never something that I thought that I wanted for myself. It always seemed like a lot of work and a lot of stress. But then, you know, as you go along in your career, you just start to find that certain things work for you. And a lot of times that's just something that you have to do when you're self-employed. So I ended up going down this route.
Nice.
Okay.
So what is the sugar?
So the sugar is actually 3 simple ingredients. It's sugar, lemon juice, and water. And it's cooked at a certain temperature for a certain amount of time. It's almost like, I guess if you were candying something, it's sort of like that, and then it's poured into the jars and it hardens, and then when you want to use it, you just heat it up in the heaters. So it's all natural. You could literally use it as like a topping on your ice cream.
That's so cool.
So you want to, when you're sugaring, you always want to be following the hair growth as much as possible. So you would apply against the hair growth and remove with, which is actually the opposite of waxing. How are you doing so far, Charmaine?
Good. It's not painful.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your pain?
It's like a 1.
Oh, good. Mind you, she's not getting a Brazilian.
Yeah.
That could have been a bit of a different story.
So as long as there's hair growth, you guys can sugar it?
Yes, so the hair has to be about 1/4 of an inch long, which usually is, if you were shaving the hair, it's usually about 14 days from the last time you shave. But yeah, it really doesn't take a whole lot. And the hair can never really be like too long either. Ideally, it's between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. But I do have clients that think that they will need to trim before their appointment if the hair is a bit too long, but usually that's not the case. So I will have you just raise your knee and then rest your arm. I'm just going to soften my sugar a little bit.
How do you like your pose, Charmaine?
No. It's my daily pose. Don't be dry.
So is this a different sugar now?
No, it's the
It's the same
same.
one.
Actually, what happens, like it starts off really clear and sort of translucent, and then as it gathers dead skin and the hair and the powder, it sort of starts to turn white. So it is actually the same stuff. Sugaring is becoming so popular over the years. Like I've used to offer waxing as well.
So I heard that guys can't get their mustaches sugared. Is that correct?
Right. It's typically really not advised. I mean, I've seen people do it, for videos and things, but it's not advised because the hair on a man's face is so thick and the follicle, like the bulb, is so thick and deeply ingrained. When you remove it, it's just so easy for bacteria to get into the area and settle, and you end up with all kinds of issues like ingrown hairs or possibly infection as well. So although I have seen it done, it's not really recommended. Those videos of men getting like their heads waxed.
Yeah.
Because it's the same
So
thing.
crazy.
It looks so satisfying in the moment because it's just so fresh and like clean looking. But then you just know that the next day they're waking up with folliculitis everywhere.
So what got you into sugaring?
So after high school, I had just been working part-time at a tanning salon, and I had just sort of grown bored with the job itself and was just looking for something a little bit different. I wasn't ready to commit to doing university or college or anything like that. So I just wanted something easy and sort of non-committal. So I ended up seeing a job posting for a receptionist position. So I went for the interview, and when I arrived, the person interviewing me continuously brought up sugaring, and I had never heard of sugaring before, but of course I had wanted the job. So I said I loved sugaring and was super excited about sugaring. And then that was until she had said that on Monday I was going to have to bring in a model to sugar. So luckily that morning she trained me, took me in and trained me, and that's when I began to learn how to sugar, and then the rest is history from there.
So what's the like aftercare treatment? Does she have to like lotion it all day long?
So the first line of defense I would say for sure is exfoliating. You want to wait a couple of days just because we've very freshly exfoliated your skin with the sugar. But then afterwards you want to make sure that you're exfoliating pretty much daily. So that's really important. And then also just for the first few days, make sure that you're not doing too much that's going to cause you to sweat a whole lot. So going to the gym, saunas, hot tubs, anything like that. Just take a break for a couple of days. And then, you can lotion your arms, and it is recommended to lotion your arms. You just have to make sure that you're using the appropriate products. You don't want to use anything like comedogenic, which is going to clog your follicle.
Yeah.
So it has to be sort of specifically post-sugaring related moisturizer.
You want to keep the sugar after, Charmaine? Then you could put on the ice cream. You could do the ice cream
I'm like
option.
looking at it, I'm like, ew.
That's all your dead
Yeah.
skin.
So you just use one?
Yeah.
The entire time. That's crazy.
Yes. Yeah, you could do like a whole set of full legs with just one.
So I see at the front there that you do more than just sugaring. You sell products as well. Do you mind sharing what kind of products?
I do, yes. I actually have a private label line of bath and body products. So I started with bath bombs, and it sort of progressed from there. So now I have an array of balms and shower steamers and lotions and body butters and Epsom salts and all kinds of good stuff. I've even got foaming hand soaps, so it's lots of fun.
So the bonus question we like to ask the business owners is, if you can give advice to young entrepreneurs, new startups, up and coming entrepreneurs, what piece of advice or pieces of advice would you like to give them?
I would say I saw a little, a quote on the internet today, and it was like so simple. It was just do it anyways. And to me, it's like, yeah, for sure, just do it anyways. I feel like there are always going to be so many anxieties and fears that you have in terms of going into business and entrepreneurship. And you can't let that hold you back, because then you'll spend your whole life wishing that you did something that you didn't end up doing. So if that's what you want to do, if you want to go into business for yourself, or if you want to work for yourself, find a way to make it happen and do it, and surround yourself with really supportive people.
Nice. So in our absolute excitement to pick out bath bombs, in which I got these ones for my niece, we forgot to videotape her sharing her contact information. So we're going to do this part remotely. Samantha, if you can please share your contact information. And at least this way it gives you a chance to see your beautiful smile.
Okay guys, you can find us on Instagram at Lemon Sugar Bar. We're also on Facebook at Lemon Sugar Bar and Aesthetics. So find us there.
Okay, so how was the experience of getting your arm sugared? Was that the first time you got your whole arm sugared?
Yes, that was my first time, and Samantha made it so comfortable. I didn't feel awkward or nervous at all. And the pain was not even, I was worried about it, and it didn't even hurt at all. So it was a great experience.
So what about that in compared to like waxing?
I've never had waxing because I'm scared of it, but
But this one was like so little pain,
Yeah.
you like highly recommend it as
yeah,
a...
I think everyone could get their arms triggered or anything triggered really, especially with Samantha. She's a great esthetician. So yeah.
All right, so that's all we have for today. Till next time, go with the pros. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Winnipeg Business Podcast. If you know anyone you think would make a perfect guest for the show, please send them to thewinnipegbusinesspodcast.com. Have them fill out the form and someone from our team will get back to them ASAP. Till next time.